causing a reprimand did just the opposite for his commanders. Because mistakes can be made.
Exactly.
You point the finger, you deny.
Exactly.
His whole thing was owning up to your issues. Own up, or in fact, Toby, I took that when he said own up to your problems. I took that as standing up.
Right, I agree.
Standing up to in even your issues, your problems, your what would you call it?
Shortcomings.
Your shortcomings. Standing up even in the middle of that and say, you know what? So I'm a cripple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still accepted by God.
Exactly.
Here's my problems, but here's what I can do good. I can't do this, but He can do that. I can do this, and He can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's the eye saying to the hand, okay, you're different. I get it. You do your part, and I'll do mine.
My part, yeah.
You can't do your part. The hand, you can't do your part unless I can see and tell you where to put it. And the hand says, yeah, I can pick it up, and you can't. So we have to work together. That's how the body works, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy truly understood. I haven't listened to more. It was a good, decent talk.
And the first one, the comment was about a video that you saw a guy talk. Where you saw a guy talk?
Yeah, he sent me 2 videos.
Okay.
And I only Jordan Peterson's incredible journey to God.
Oh.
And I mean, you can see this on this guy's face. Look, Chris, look how tormented the poor guy looks.
I've heard this name before, Jordan Peterson. I don't know.
And I could hear it in his voice, him, crying for everybody to come to peace. But there is no peace as long as people continue to hide the fact that they are felt it. In his mind, this is what I see in all the churches. They want to, instead of true forgiveness and getting rid of what we talked about just a minute ago, getting rid of right and wrong, dying to it, to where you don't have the need to forgive even. When your idea of right and wrong dies, you no longer have the ability to figure out whether somebody did you wrong or not, if you truly died to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. How the need to forgive goes away; it just becomes undefined.
Well, of course.
Kind of ingrained that.
And so this whole thing about holding something against somebody is non-existent.
No.
Yeah.
Now, nobody likes to go cold outside when it's really cold, right?
Nope.
That's right.
So you just stay inside when it's cold.
Yep.
Well, why can't we have the same? I mean, if somebody treats us wrong, what's the point of holding something against them? Except to make them pay. At least what you think you're making them pay. If it's not to make them pay, it makes no sense.
I think that's the only reason.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason. Otherwise, why would you just not stay away from them? Just like you stay inside because it's cold outside. Mm-hmm. It's kind of silly to go outside when it's freezing and you don't hardly have any clothes. You'd be miserable. Why go around somebody who makes you miserable?
Yeah.
There's no reason to hold it against the cold because it's cold.
Oh,
you just stay inside.
Yeah. That's right. That's the lesson here. I like that. Mm-hmm.
But so if can you imagine somebody holding a grudge against the cold? 6 months out of the year, or maybe longer up north, they'd be miserable and hating everything because they wanted to hold it against the cold. That's completely ridiculous.
Well, usually when you hold it against someone, you are miserable.
Well, of course, but that's the
you
point.
May not
but I was hoping to shed some light on the fact that the only reason people hold grudges is truly to make somebody pay.
But in the long
they're
run,
withholding themselves, thinking that that's going to make them pay. But they have to think very highly of themselves to be able to do it first.
I would think so.
Because if the person that you're holding a grudge against doesn't even know you exist, guess what? Your grudge means nothing. So what is it to make you think about? What is it to make somebody pay when you get right down to it? Do you have people that actually make people pay?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure
they'll hurt them. They'll physically hurt them. They'll say ugly things and all of this.
Yeah.
But there's other people who just hold it and they just don't talk to them. I had an uncle. I liked the man very much, but he had a grudge against his brother. Wouldn't speak to him for years and years
See,
and years
that
and years.
tears up. I mean, that's painful all the way around.
It
I would
is.
think. So that, oh no.
Yeah.
Unless, I guess some people, I don't know. I guess they feel like they're right because he hurt me, so I'm gonna. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Josie got mad at me a few years ago, and for like 6 months she wouldn't call me, and I had no idea. And it wasn't
You
until
didn't even know.
a couple of times we talked that she said, "Did you know I was mad at you?" I said, "Nope." I had no idea.
So that was a waste of energy on her part.
Well, it took her that long to finally get over it and finally talk to me about it.
Yeah, well,
And when she finally did,
it
it was like it was nothing. It wasn't even significant. And she didn't even make a big deal out of it because when she tried to tell me, it's like it didn't even mean anything.
Yeah.
And so we were just fine. But I never knew. Man, it never bothered me. Even after I knew, it didn't matter. It didn't bother me.
But if you had gone over to her house while she held that in her heart,
Yeah, then it would have been.
a problem because of this glue that seems to hold us together that we don't really comprehend. The same way that if you get around a bunch of people, and you can have a couple of people and a bunch of people in a group, and they have a problem with something, and everybody feels it.
Yeah.
So that glue, whatever that is, that interaction that takes place between us, we affect one another.
Yeah.
And so somebody that holds a grudge actually does, if they're close, make the other one pay.
That's true.
But if,
I have one friend that I know quit talking to me a long time ago. I don't know, 15 years now maybe. And it's just like that. He'll never talk to me again apparently. And oh well.
but
And then and I come to find out, like, I don't know, 3 years ago maybe, that another friend of mine isn't talking to me anymore, and I still don't know why. And he wouldn't return my phone calls, and so I just have to say, well, I guess he's trying to make me pay, but it's not. Well, I mean, to the degree to which I know now that he's hurting against me, and then I guess I did something. It pains me that the relationship's broken, but I don't blame myself.
Well, you don't even know what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you don't blame yourself for something like that.
So, right? How could I?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway.
well, you can't know, but understand, let's talk about the mechanism. The mechanism is if you respect or admire or cherish the relationship that can allow them to pay.
Yes.
To cause you heartache, to cause a problem, or to make you pay.
Yeah.
They have to withhold something. That's the only way that they can make you pay. And if you truly are not dependent at all, but you just wanted to be their friend, and if they chose to withhold their friendship, then you would just, well, they must be doing something else. You wouldn't even think about it. But if you to the degree that you are dependent, the more you're capable of being hurt.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Think about it physically. You got a cane. Your leg is hurt. To the degree that you hang on to that cane and hold yourself up, somebody kicks it out, the worse you're going to get hurt.
Yep.
That's right.
Definitely, yeah.
It's the same thing, except it's
But if you don't need the cane, somebody takes it away and it doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
keep
they
walking.
kick it out, and it's like, why'd you do that? And you just stand and you say, well, I feel a little bit of pain in my leg, but you didn't need it.
Like we had Miss Jo a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah, I was
We
waiting
got
for her to say something to you.
We got well, I don't care. Miss Josie and Mr. Clarence.
That must be your phone, baby.
Natalie wanted to get them out the house because they don't go nowhere no more. You know, Mr. Clarence is really doing bad. So Josie don't get out. So we offered to have them come over to our house one evening. We sat outside on the back patio and I cooked something on the grill back there before. And Mr. Clarence he's really getting bad. But we were sitting in the kitchen.
He loved Roxy.
And it's amazing. You hear a lot of people say how they bring. You've read or seen programs where they bring dogs and stuff into like hospitals for sick people and that down. I've watched Mr. Clarence Chain sitting in the kitchen playing with Roxy. The simplicity
There's
of
a
that
reason
animal.
they use those
The
animals.
simplicity of the animal changed him. He like woke up a little bit.
Yeah.
Really?
Brings them
Yeah,
life.
it was very unusual.
So you mentioned Miss Clarence with the dog, and how you said simple. But what I think wasn't being said, and it's very important, I think he chose to play.
Yeah.
You see,
Oh.
he let go of the facade of having to be a certain way,
And being sick.
and he's
being,
playing, and all of a sudden everything changes.
Yeah.
It's just like a child. A child will be miserable in class, and you let him play, and all of a sudden things change.
Yeah.
What happens? They let go of the confinement of their own mind to try to have to be a certain way, and they let themselves go.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not it's acceptable or not what they're playing, it's still a good thing. There's a freedom that comes.
And of course, Roxy's sitting there going,
Oh,
She's eating
She's
that up.
just
She's
eating
at
it
home.
up.
yeah,
She's
she,
paying
but
attention.
I'm watching her though. It wasn't so much eating it up. It's like she had to do that. It's almost like
Like
there was
she
something
says it,
there.
she
There was
knows
something
when
there
She
that was they were interacting. She was there to interact, and she was being obedient because she knew she needed to.
Yeah, but
interact.
I
It
think
was a
they
strange
sensed
thing.
too that
No, I know.
Yeah,
Mr. Clarence was sick.
yeah.
There's something in there with the
And
animal that
Miss
says
Josie
that's
even
due.
said that. Miss Josie even said that.
Maybe that has.
She looked at Roxy and says, she understands.
Yeah.
She understands.
There's so you guys have heard how I feel that interaction, that change, that spiritual thing when I would pray for somebody.
Yeah.
When a person or a dog or any animal for that matter has a problem, I'll feel the same thing. And when I've been emotionally hurt or whatever, and went and been and either prayed with somebody or just went to that dog, I felt the same thing. I think that this is what you saw her recognize. She recognized there was an interaction, and she was helping.
Yeah.
And all she knew was there was an interaction. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
This.
God's great gift.
I'll tell you, we remember that bird Bobo, the loud one,
Yeah.
the one that laid an egg, but it was actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well,
Bobo turned.
and she was miserable. And I went to that bird's cage, and I put my hand. I forget exactly what I did. I reached in the cage and got her on my finger, and I held her. And I felt that same interaction with her like I would with a human when I was praying for them.
That's just
And the bird was within minutes after that was taken. Well, actually, the minute I put it back in the cage, it was back to being normal again.
Yeah.
Whatever took place fixed that bird.
It's amazing.
It happened twice.
It's amazing, but it's just
something
not
that's ingrained.
things like that, though. It's
still
amazing
in us.
how much interaction you can have with an animal.
I know. It's not just any animal.
Yeah, it's amazing because
You think about
I laughed.
cowboys with the horses. I bet you there's plenty of stories.
Uh-huh.
What,
I
that?
laughed, and Natalie laughed so hard that I think
What?
she peed on herself. With it. She was sitting on the couch, and you've seen her sit on the couch like this, and if you try to pick on her, she'll do like you don't exist, you know.
She ignores.
And
Tries to.
so I did this thing, you know how you get a raspberry, you know, like that. So I would do that on her back, and she comes at you like she's gonna bite you, but she never closes her mouth, you know. You know.
Wait, are we talking about a dog or
No,
not?